Looks like hasn't been lifted just yet, but he is going to get clapped down. The call comes out, but now he's missing that bonus armor. Silent, can he get some more crits or get another clap off? Salve attempted, but Silent crits him down. And Phobos will stack here, but Phobos comes over with the sprint into the crush. Always Wanna Fly has the grave, but this Fisher is still going to last an eternity. Yoki trying to turn around here with a little bit of Quill Spray damage. Phobos drops low, one last spray comes out. And they do end up actually finding a trade. Avos gets the kill, and Resolution's just playing it safe for lack of information right now. But the Fisher comes out. There's your first trade, there's your second. Stun attempted, but just going to be a fake out and go black with one last punch. Finishes the kill. Sad Resolution looks for the stun. Doesn't land it, but might still be able to get this kill. Yul going to salve up and also run over into the Wild Wings himself, but looks like he's not going to be quite so lucky. One last auto attack from Resolution seals the deal. But this is what I was talking about. Yoki and Always Wanna Fly playing up a little bit. Concussive Shot's going to come out. And looks like it could potentially be 2 kills. Always Wanna Fly trying to find a patch of fog, but they've both got hit by the amp damage now. NaVi not really committing to one kill or the other just yet. They do end up going in to the Dazzle, and Yoki by himself is going to try and drive back 4 NaVi heroes. Looks like they're actually going to let him do it. Resolution also coming down here for the assist. The nuke clips Phobos, but he's still alive. Yoki continues the dive, but he's running low on mana, and DK Phobos charges out looking for the call. Stun a little bit off the mark. Aloha Dance has found a haste, and he's also making his way down here, as does Dendi. Sound in the meantime just pushing out the top lane, but Bristleback on a single ward for the time being, and gonna have to wait till things come back in stock. Dendi with Phobos coming in on this bottom lane. They're gonna land the crush. And that's going to be another easy key of the Dire jungle for their own. So, as much as it's just a single tower, this is strategically really big for Empire right now to have all of this control. And they've even blocked out this big camp as well. So, farming is really tough here. Almost, when jumping in, he's going to get lifted back into a boulder. Doesn't do nearly as much damage as it did before, but still good micro coming out here of Silent. Gonna keep the Slardar isolated. What can they do to him? Dendi hits the ground running, but he's a little bit low on mana. Same story for DK Phobos coming in, looking for a call. Can't find anyone just yet. A Fisher comes out and catches 4, and it is gonna send Empire back for the time being. I ended up using the Primal Split, but didn't really get anything done. Weave comes out, and NaVi will still be driven back. Yul's off to the side. Havost comes in. He gets bolted down before he can do anything. It's just the amplified damage. That's 2 dead so far. Goblock also on the run. We've got some raises coming out of Dendi, popping off his haste and trying to keep Empire back, but they're still healthy. Always Wanna Fly spamming out the heal, keeping everybody up. Aloha Dance is going to get clipped here and will be brought down by the raise. Dendi making full use of that haste to find at least the 1 kill for NaVi as they defend this tier 1 tower mid, and I think pretty much single-handedly forces Empire back there. So overall fight does end up being pretty Empire favored. Didn't get anything. Lina making her way over towards mid lane, and everybody on NaVi is going to react. Charging straight over. Havost hoping for the random crush. Sentry Ward gets popped down, and Resolution just walks right back into them. Here comes the call, and here comes the kill. The dunk ends up being stuffed a little bit there by Phobos. Instant silence when you jump in, so we'll see what Silent ends up doing. Big smoke coming out of Empire. They want to use this split if they can. Dendi gets lifted up. A nice Yules is going to keep Silent out of the fight for the time being, but it doesn't matter. He still gets dropped down by the Laguna. And now the Panda is chasing back, looking for Go Black. Resolution also going to try and send them skywards. That's not the Yules. That is the Primal Split sending up Go Black, but they still find another kill. Aloha Dance actually bringing him down there with stolen raise. Yoki sidesteps that Skywrath Mage ult as Havost, despite it being a 3v5, comes charging in. It looks like it's just going to be an amplified damage and then backing himself up. There's a glyph for the Radiant, but looks like one way or the other this tier 1 tower is still going down, and not the case. And they might even go for one more here. They get the concussive shot over onto Yoki. Silenced up, but Silent comes jumping straight in, splits up the fight. Havost on the one side, but they've got the Grave, and we've got a Laguna Blade flying out on the other. The 2 supports already dead. Dendi's going to drop the Requiem, but he's only going to survive a tiny bit longer as the heal bomb comes in. They send the Axe up. Great focus fire out of Empire. Looks like Havost is going to immediately lose. This Aegis might go down again. Phobos still pretty healthy, but being controlled. Just going to try for the TP, but these Yule Scepters just keep on juggling. And that is going to be 4 kills and the Aegis. NaVi, they get a tiny... Go straight for the throat. Looks like Silent is gonna opt for this BKB here. The one thing for Brewmaster, even if he can't necessarily die by not buying the BKB, as I say that, Yoki is getting jumped once again, a little bit of trouble. Nobody really nearby. They're going to drop the Echo Slam. They're using everything that they can. Silent's going to jump in. They've got the Primal Split counter engage, and now NaVi, I think, just have to get out if they can. Got another drop as Resolution manages to find the Slardar. They lift up the axe. There is no escape from this Silent Panda. They try and coordinate the drop down into the stun, but they don't even need it. Resolution picks up the double, and defending this tier 1 tower on the mid lane. Resolution just about to get his Ags delivered. NaVi coming in from the side. Might be considering the engage here. Always want to fly. A little bit too far forward, potentially. They go for the jump in, but there's the immediate Yules up onto Avost. Is he just going to get bursted here by the Laguna Blade? Looks like he will. They end up losing the Dazzle, but the Starter's getting dropped low. And in comes the Rubik. Steals the Crush. They finish off that kill. Yol trying to escape up to higher ground, but won't be able to find a path. And Go Black managing to blink away for the time being, but Resolution and Aloha Dance still giving chase. His blink's cooling down in 1 second, gets hit by the Urn Charge, still managing to blink down into the low ground, but into the waiting arms of both Yoki and Silent, who are going to slow him up and burst him down. Aloha Dance even making the jump with the bolt there, just to get a little bit of revenge. Eternity left on this Aegis, and if you're NaVi, they don't really have much of a solid idea what this Brewmaster is up to. So they can only assume that he's right here. The siege is going to begin. We've got a smoke out of NaVi on all of their blink initiators. They're going to jump in. They're looking towards Yoki. They know that he doesn't have the Aegis. Dendi also blinking in, drops the Requiem. Resolution dropping low, but he's still got that Aegis at the ready. Yoki gets Grave, and he's going to be sent back. Resolution does manage to drop down the Laguna Blade and finish off the Shadow Fiend. Dendi immediately buying back. Go Black drops the slam. It's chaos in the mid lane as they do actually manage to bring down Silent. Unable to drop the Primal Split. The Focus Fire coming out, working slightly from NaVi, but the rest of the Empire lineup going to keep on charging forward and find additional kills. It's a 4-for-2 trade at the end of the day as the Aegis does get popped by Resolution, but looking like it should be another lane of Rax cleaned up easily here for Empire. Glyph comes out. Phobos. He's only got Dendi at his side to consider the re-engage here. I'm just going to try and drag Yoki back towards the tier 4s, but there is a stun at the ready from Resolution, and the right click's coming out, so they are going to be able to nuke him. Godlike streak for Resolution. Second lane of Rax going down in short order. Still 20 seconds on Havo. Okay, they do catch Yoki somewhat, going for the aggressive play, but it's actually Dendi who's being caught out and dropped back into the Laguna. Out comes the TP from Havos. Drops the Crush, but it's only on one. Doesn't want to focus on the Bristleback for the time being. Looking towards Resolution here, but he's got his BKB. There's also a Grave at the ready. Go Black's jumped in, but it's Aloha Dance with the huge Slithering Crush. Stolen from Havost. And with the triple kill, NaVi will finally call the GG. And that's going to see them departing down into the lower bracket, and Empire taking this series 2-0 to advance into your winner bracket final, where they will await the winner of IG versus NIP, if that match hasn't already concluded. That's going to wrap it up for me today, guys. I believe Cyclops is going to be joining you in a little bit for one of the lower